So streamline your real estate business. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Nicolene Hamaty, and I am the owner and founder of the Real Estate Training Institute. So where do I come from? What do I do? And why am I in real estate? So I started in real estate all the way back in 2008, where I was an agent just like you. I remember having that utter frustration and that overwhelm of not knowing what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And when I was searching for answers to my questions, I kind of fell into this researching of what do the best of the best do? How do they do it? How can it always seem so easy when someone else is doing it, but so hard when you try it yourself? So I kind of geeked out on all that information that I needed, and then I fell into trainings. Oh, this works, this works. And for more than a decade, I've been head of training and development for one of the largest real estate companies in the world. So I'm all about helping agents getting the job done faster and quicker and be more productive. So last year we launched the Real Estate Training Institute, and the Real Estate Training Institute is here to help you start, implement, and increase. We focus on money-making activity training. We don't do any compliance trainings like logbooks or PDEs or any of those. We only focus on the soft skills training. How do I price my property correctly? How do I get the seller to negotiate their price down? How do I use technology in my real estate business so that I can get more done, be more productive, and work less hours? So it's all about getting you to where you need to be and scaling your business so that you can have the business that you deserve. Right. So what are we going to do today? I'm going to chat to you about the secret to real estate clarity. If you guys are anything like me, when I started out, I still remember that frustration, that not knowing where to start, that desire to be good at real estate, that desire to earn an income, but the complete overwhelming of just not knowing what is the actual next step. So before we can go into what is the clarity of real estate, we need to go and take a look at what exactly is clarity. And clarity can be defined as the quality or state of being clear and free from any uncertainty or confusion. Now, how great would that be if you're new to real estate, or you maybe are not where you quite need to be and you don't know what you are doing wrong or what you're supposed to be doing? How amazing would it be if you had everything you do is clear? You know exactly, there's no uncertainty, there's no confusion. You know when you do step 1, 2, and 3 that you are going to get to step number 4. You know without a shadow of a doubt that these things work, these things don't. How amazing would that be? But if we go even deeper into what clarity means, it means that it involves removing any barriers or any obstacle that may hinder your understanding. Now think about that. How many things are flying your way? When you were brand new, some of you are still brand new in the industry, and you attend a training and it's like this information overload. And it feels like you're kind of drinking from a fire hose because there's just so much information coming your way. Now, if you could get clarity, knowing what to do and how to do it, then those obstacles are removed. So now you're clear, you know what to do, you know exactly the understanding of real estate, and now all those barriers fall away. And that is what I'm going to chat to you about today. And in order for us to be able to get clarity in real estate, there's a couple of things that we need to do. The first thing is we need to know the knowing what to know. We need to know what it is that we need to know. And once we know what we need to know, then it's the knowing of what to do. Because sometimes we know what we need to know, but we don't know how to do it. So what is my job description as a real estate agent? What am I supposed to do on a daily basis? And then the next step to clarity is knowing how to do those things. So it's great if you tell me that I need to do pricing, and it's great if you tell me I need to do farming area, but how do I actually do those things? And then the last one, but the most important one when it comes to clarity, is knowing that you can do it. The biggest obstacle all of us have is that uncertainty and doubt that we believe this is for someone else. Someone else can be a millionaire estate agent. Someone else can get sole and exclusive mandates, but it's not for me. I can't. I'm not smart enough. I'm not clever enough. I'm not prestige enough. I'm not sophisticated enough. That is all nonsense. If you know what you need to know, if you know what you need to do, and if you know how to do it, then the only thing stopping you is being consistent and doing the things that you need to do to get you to where you need to go. So clarity is the understanding of what you need to know, the understanding of the real estate market. What are the things that I need to know? Why do I need to have a farming area? Why do I need to know my product? Then and once you know that understanding of stuff, it gives you the direction. Now you know where you are moving to. And once you know where you are moving to, you can focus. And once you focus and you've got the skills and the knowledge, that is where confidence comes. Confidence is not something that happens overnight. It's with the period of time of learning new things, putting that into implemented and putting it into practice. That is what's going to give us the confidence. There's very few people that are just born confidently. We gain it by growing our skills. But don't think for 1 minute that you are anything less than someone that has already made it. You are going to start where you stand. You're going to start with the doubt, you're going to start with the fear, and you're going to start with the uncertainty. But as long as you start, there is absolutely no stopping you. So let's jump back. We're going to go knowing what to know, knowing what to do, knowing how to do it, and then knowing that you can. So if we look at the first one, knowing what to know, we know that we're in the real estate industry, and for us to know what's going on in the industry and for us to be able to service our clients effectively, we need to know about real estate. Now, there's a bunch of things when it comes to real estate. We need to know the property market. We need to know how to complete contracts. We need to understand those contracts. Ever had to sign anything from someone and you ask them, well, what does that word mean? And they go, I don't know. And you're like, ooh, if they don't know what this means, how can I sign this if the person giving it to me doesn't understand it? So knowing your contract is the only thing securing your service fee, your commission. We need to make 100% sure that we understand it. And it's not difficult to do. You can be a master at anything. All it takes is the commitment and the consistency of doing those things. Let me give you an example. You are not set apart from your goals by a matter of time. You are set apart from your goals by a matter of action. So let's say you had to master your contract. You have a couple of choices. So let's say it takes you about 20 to 30 times to read through the contract and understand it before it becomes who you are, and it's really embedded and you understand every single word. Now, you can either, let's say it takes 20 times. You can either read your contract once a week, and it'll take you 20 weeks to be a master at your contract. Or you could read it twice a week, and it'll take you 10 weeks. Or you can read it once a day, and it'll take you 20 days. Or you can say, you know what, I'm going to read it twice a day, and within 10 days, you have mastered your contract. So it's not what we do once off. The secret to your future is hidden in your daily routine. It's what you do every single day that's going to get you to that result. No one is an overnight success. You just don't see the parts where they are grinding and mastering their skills, because we only notice someone when they are that overnight success. So we need to know contracts. We need to know the difference between full title and sectional title, because what happens is, even if you've been in the industry for a while, we have what we call the curse of knowledge. What I know is common sense to me because I've been working with it for so many years, but it's not common sense to your buyer or your seller. The majority of sellers don't know you have to give notice on your bond when you sell it. The majority of buyers might not know that there's a difference between transfer duty and transfer cost. The majority of people buying a sectional title might not know that there's an extra levy. We assume they should know because that's something that we know. But think back when you started, and for some of you, you're still brand new. They're overwhelmed, not even knowing what an OTP means. an offer to purchase, not knowing what an exclusive mandate means. So knowing what we need to know. We need to know about zoning. We need to know about pricing, not only what the price of the property is, but how do we price the property correctly? How do we get the sellers to understand why it is so important for them to price the property correctly and not overprice their property? We need to understand the market. What is going on? What is the absorption rate for your farming area? We need to know what are the days on market. We need to know all of those things. We need to know how to deal with buyers, how to deal with sellers. What is the process? What is the process when it comes to listing a property? What is the process when it comes to selling a property? What is the process once that we have a deal and it's signed and it's now going on to registration? What is that process? Because once we know all of that things, it brings clarity. Because when we know what we need to know, then we know, okay, I might not know everything yet, but could I start somewhere? Could I learn my contract today? Could I learn my mandate tomorrow? Could I learn listings the next day? And when we know, when we see the blueprint, when we know what it is we need to know, then a little bit of that frustration, overwhelm goes away. And all we have to do is focus on the one step that is in front of us, just that one step. So there's a bunch of things that we need to learn. So the problem is that we don't know where to start. We don't know where to start. Like, do I do listings first or do I do marketing first? Or wait, should I first learn my contract? What is the first step? Like, if we go back to this list, there's so many things on this list, and this is just a snapshot. It's not even close to what there is to learn. But then, okay, what are these 100 things that you're telling me that I need to know? Where do I actually start? Where do I start doing that? Because we don't know where to start, and then we don't know what we don't know. If you've never been in the industry before and you've never sold a house before, you might not know that what the process is when it goes to registration. You might not know what lodgement means, for example. And that's where the majority of people quit, because they go, I'm never going to get this, and then they stop. But all you need to do is get that roadmap, see what you need to do, and then go on to that next step. Because that'll take the frustration away, knowing that, yes, I understand, I can't know everything. And just as a side note, you'll never know everything. My job is literally to learn about real estate every single day. For the last 15 years, that's all I've been doing, is researching, finding out about new things that work, things that doesn't work, new laws, things that apply to real estate, a disclosure form, FICA, all of those things. And guess what? The moment you think, okay, cool, I got this sorted, then what happens? Yep, they go and change it. And then once they change it, you start all over again. So don't worry if you don't know everything. You're not going to know everything. You don't have to be an expert in everything. You just need to be an expert in your particular farming area, and you need to know how to answer those questions if it comes up, if you don't know. But always come back to those people when you have it. So what exactly is the importance of learning? The importance of learning is that how far you can go depends on how much you know. Now, if you only know, let's say, 1,000 rands worth of knowledge, then you can never go further than that 1,000 rands worth. But now you learn 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1,000,000. So the more knowledge you have, the further you can go in life, the further you can increase your business, the more you can implement, the more you can do, the more you can adapt. Because if I don't know how to market a property, then I can't do it. If I don't know how to use AI to my advantage, then I can't do it. So learning is absolutely critical in everything that you do. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that get to a stage like, I don't learn anymore. I've always done it this way, or I've heard this before. Those are the most dangerous words that there are, because you have to know more today than you did yesterday. Because if you don't know more today than you did yesterday, someone else coming new in the industry, getting the new information, is going to put you in an outdated position. Now, I'm a firm believer, if it's not broken, don't fix it, but you can always increase. If you're already doing your 5-6 sales deals a month, by all means, go and keep on doing it. It's working. What you're doing is right. But if you're brand new to the industry or a struggling agent and you're not quite where you need to be, then maybe we need to focus on learning, because learning isn't a time waster. Learning is investing in your future, because the more you learn, the further you can go. But it's not just learning, it's then taking what you've learned and implementing it. And the reality is, when it comes to training, is that you cannot pay someone to do your push-ups for you. If you don't go and implement what you've learned, no one's going to do it for you. If you don't go pick up that phone, if you don't go do that listing, if you don't market that property, if you don't, no one else is going to do it for you. So real estate is probably the best example where we can say you own everything in your world. If you've got money in the bank account coming through now, go look at what you did 3 months ago. If you don't have any, go look at what you did 3 months ago, because you are where you are today because of what you did 3 months ago, but what you implemented. It's not just doing the training, it's actually implementing what you've learned. So now that we know what we need to know our industry, we need to understand all the lingo that comes. But step number one is absolutely specializing in our particular farming area. Then the next step is knowing what to do. What is it that I need to actually do? And that is, what is your roles and responsibility as a real estate agent? Now, if you're a real estate agent, what is your actual job? What is a day in the life of a real estate agent? Because when we enter, what we think it's going to be like and what it really is, it's quite different. Some of us, when we started out, we thought, oh, it's going to be half a day. And then we quickly realized, no. It's flexi hours, not half a days, but it's also more from when I open my eyes until I close my eyes. So we get to be flexible, but we still need to put in the work. Now, if we look at what is the roles and responsibility of a real estate agent, then the first thing that we need to do is we need to learn how to prospect and lead generate. Because getting business must never take precedence over doing business. You always have to keep your pipeline full. Lead generation is the lifeline of your business. If you are not lead generating, your pipeline is going to be empty. And you're going to be in a position where you have a sell, nothing. So you want to keep that consistently going. The next thing that we need to remember, that a part of what we're going to do on a daily basis, is market research and analysis. And this is where we're going to jump back to knowing your farming area. If you don't specialize in a farming area, how are you pricing your properties? Because what we do is we get a report and the average says 1.4 million and we go, okay, this property is worth 1.4 million. But is that the reality? No, think about it. How do we work out the average? We take a property that sold for $1 million and we take a property that sold, let's say, for 200,000. We add it together and we divide it by the number of units. So if we take the $1 million and we take the 200,000, we get 600,000 average. What does that average have got to do with the property that was sold at $1 million? And what has it got to do with the property that sold at 200? Absolutely nothing. So already it means that half of the properties are going to be above this and the other half is going to be below this. So if you don't specialize in an area, how do you price properties? How do you price it correctly based on the market analysis and the research about what the market is saying? And the reality is, we never set the price as a real estate agent. The market dictates the price. The market says what a willing buyer is willing to pay in today's market. But we just have to find out what is happening in the market to be able to give our sellers the right information. Remember, they are in charge of the decision, but we are in charge of the process. So we have to be able to give them the right information so that they can make an informed decision. The next thing that you're going to do on a daily basis is meetings and consultations. Now, these meetings can be listing meetings, it can be taking your buyers out, it can be networking, it can be lead generation, but it's also consultations where we work with our buyers and sellers to find out what is best for them. If you're dealing with the seller, it's finding out what exactly their needs are to get their property sold at the best possible price in the best possible time frame. Now, notice I didn't say the highest possible price. We cannot guarantee a 10 million sale for R1 million property, but we can guarantee that this is the best possible price in this period of time. And that's what the market tells us. We're going to sit with buyers and we're going to find out what they want, but not just the what, but the why. And let me give you an example. Ever had a buyer that says, I want 3 bedrooms, I don't want round windows, and I don't want a flat roof, and I don't want a sectional title. And then what do they end up buying? Flat roof, round windows, and a sectional title. It's happened, right? Because buyers don't know on what they want until they see what they don't want. But we never ask the question of why. Someone says they want 4 bedrooms, and we go, okay, and we start looking for 4 bedrooms. And then we don't get necessarily the ones that we like, but we've never asked the question, what if we just ask, why do you need 4 bedrooms? And they say, well, it's only me and my husband, but we both work from home. So we each want our own office. Okay, so if I can't find 4 bedrooms, but I can get a 3-bedroom and a study, would that work? Okay, great. You've just opened up to more properties. What if I can't find a 4-bedroom, but there's a flat outside? Would that work? Yes, that would be perfect. What if there was a loft upstairs? Would that work? Oh, even better. Just by asking why they want something, you can actually give them what they want, because sometimes they don't know. They understand why they want it and they think it might be the 4-bedroom. Same with the kitchen. Someone says, no, we want a big kitchen. It has to be big, or we want an entertainment area. And then when you ask them why, they say, but we're entertainers. We like having people over. Okay, so if I can't get a big kitchen, but it's an open plan kitchen, will it work? That goes out onto the balcony. Brilliant, that would work. So just knowing what to ask. The next thing we need to become a pro at is listing and marketing. We need to source that listings. There are buyers out there right now that need to sell their properties. You need to go and find them. And when you go through the farming process and you go through the stats from Lightstone or Windeed or SAPTG or whichever one you use, CMA Info, you will then be able to see who of the sellers on your area are most likely to sell this year. And then you start marketing and listening to those particular people. Instead of doing the entire area, you still market everywhere, but you focus on that core group that is more likely to buy or sell. Marketing, once you have the property, you now need to go and make sure that it sells, because there's only 2 reasons why a property doesn't sell. It's either the price or the marketing. That's it. There's no other reason. Because if the price is right, it will sell. If the marketing is right and it doesn't sell, then it is the price. So if the price is right, but no one knows about it, it can't sell. If the marketing is brilliant and you're getting people through the door, but no one's buying it, it has to be the price. So the market is always telling us, always leaving clues to what is actually happening. Negotiating an offer. We need to know that that's going to be part of our daily job. We need to know contract management and documentation. How many times did we accidentally almost lose a deal because we forgot to manage that deal? We forgot to make sure when the dates were for the bond, when the dates were for deposits. So making sure that when the deal happens, we manage it through the process, that when trouble happens in between, we can still sort it out and help the seller and buyer sell or buy their property. Admin task. Now, if you're an estate agent, you probably don't like admin, but admin is part of what we need to do in a daily job. And then communication and follow up. And this is the number one complaint that the consumers have from real estate agent is communication and follow up. Now, what we see in here is a snapshot of what a day in the life of a real estate agent is. So certain things happen every single day, like prospecting, market analysis, those kind of things. But maybe you don't have a consultation every day. Maybe you have it 2 or 3 times a day. But this gives you a good idea of where you need to start. So if you take a look at this, and I'll make it a bit bigger for you. If you take a look at this, are you hitting all those buttons? Are you prospecting? Do you understand the market? Are you having meetings and consultations? Are you a pro in listing and marketing? This will give you an idea, because once you know what you were supposed to do, then you can go and learn how to do those things. Because now you can go, okay, cool. One of my job specs is prospecting and lead generation. Great. I don't know how to do that yet. Let me go and find out. Let me go and learn how to do those things. And by doing that, by knowing what you're supposed to do, again, it brings clarity. And clarity is what takes those obstacles away. We want to remove all those obstacles. When you start, when you're brand new, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when life is happening, it kind of feels a bit heavy, right? It feels like it's this big ball and you can't get to do everything. And you might be saying, what, do you expect me to do all of this in a day? There's no way. But in the beginning, it feels heavy. And then after a couple of months, it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And eventually it's part of who you are. If you speak to those top of the top of the top real estate agents and you ask them, what do you do on a daily basis? Some of them can't tell you. They're like, I don't know. I just get up and I do my thing. And the reason that is because they've done it so many times that it's now part of who they are. They don't have to think about lead generation anymore because it happens automatically. They don't have to think about giving feedbacks. It happens automatically because now it's in them. But you have to do something enough times to make it a habit. Think about it used to be 21 days, and now they say 66 days to take something to actually get that into a habit. Now, all that means is if you're not good at listings yet, you just haven't done it enough times. So how cool is that to know that you will be great at something if you just do it enough times? If you just implement and action it enough times. If you are not a marketing pro yet, you could be one. All you need to do is action it enough times. And that's why we've said in the beginning that you're not set apart from your goals by a matter of time. You're set apart from your goals by a matter of action. So what are you going to action? Because once we action it, that is where the magic will come. So now we know what to do. Now it's the knowing of how to do it. How do I get a listing? How do I price a property correctly? And there's so many things that we need to do again. So our farming area is probably one of the most important ones, is specializing. All the specialists make more money. All of them, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a mechanic, doesn't matter where you are. If you specialize, if you become that pro in that one particular place, that is where the absolute magic happens. Getting your farming area, knowing what you need to know. What is the absorption rate? Is it a buyer's market in your area? Is it a seller's market? What is the days on market? And knowing how to find out that information. Because sometimes we know, okay, cool, I need to know that, but how do I do that? Your database. The size of your database is the direct correlation to the size of your bank account. Your database is literally worth $1 million. Because that is people in there that trust you enough to give you their contact details. And then we do nothing with them. How do we work our database? How do we go and putting them in different automations with a very cool system like AI that is now working while we are sleeping? How cool would that be? Lead generation. Lead generation is generating leads. It's not lead giving. It's not lead receiving. So sometimes we say, oh, but I'm not getting any leads. You're not supposed to get any leads. You're supposed to go and generate those leads. What are you doing to generate those leads? What are the different places? Is it cold calling? Is it farming? Is it social media? Is it content creation? Is it door knocking? Is it show houses? Is it networking? Is it all of it? Is it none of it? If you don't understand that, how will you know what works in your particular area? And then listings and market value and pricing and marketing and negotiations. These are all the things that we need to know how to do. So once we know what we need to know and we know what to do and we know how to do it, then what is the one thing that is still left? What is the one thing? Okay? We're going to get to that in a little bit. So the importance of knowing what to do is tracking your numbers. And I always say this at every single training I've ever had. Numbers don't lie. Numbers tells a story. It tells you where you need help. It tells you where you're increasing. It tells you where you need to focus. So for example, we know what the formula to real estate is, right? The formula to real estate is 5 steps. First, I need to make contacts. To take those contacts and turn them into leads. Take those leads, turn them into appointments. Take those appointments, turn them into listings, and then take those listings and turn them into rentals or sales. So that's the formula, right? Now, if I go through this and I can see, okay, I've made contacts, but I've got no leads. What is the story that this is telling me? It's telling me that I need to increase my skill in what am I saying? What is my call to action? How am I presenting myself when I am making contacts? If I have appointments, but I don't have any listing, then the numbers are telling the story that what am I saying at the presentation? Am I actually asking for the deal? So numbers is such a powerful way to not only tell you where you can upskill, but it's also a blueprint to tell you when the income will come. When we track our numbers, we need to focus on lead measures and lag measures. So what does that mean? Lead measures is the things I need to do to get to my end result. And the lag measure is the thing that I get, which is my goal. So let me give you an example. We have you won 5 sales. That's your lag measure. You will only know if you've achieved your 5 sales at the end. You've actually achieved those 5 sales. But lead measures is what are the activities that I need to do along the way to make sure that I have 5 sales. You need a certain number of mandates. You need to take a certain number of buyers out. You need to contact a certain number of sellers. You need to prospect. You need to lead gen. You have to be visible in your farming area, for example. Those are the lead measures. And once we know what those lead measures are and we track, we can know exactly, well, based on my numbers, I have to make X amount of contacts. I have to have X amount of leads. I need X appointments to get X listings to get X sale. Now your numbers becomes your blueprint of what exactly you need to do. Now, how much clarity then there is there than that, than knowing exactly if I do this, this will happen. If I do this, this will happen. Now, is real estate an exact formula? Yes and no. It doesn't work out like I phone 10 people, I get 1 lead, I get 1 lead, I get 1 sale, for example. But does the numbers always work out? Yes. Today, you might be calling 100 people, let's say, with no leads. But tomorrow, you speak to 2 and you get 2 leads. So as you just consistently go, the numbers will even out. But that blueprint tells you where you are. It tells you where you are right now. So if we look at this image, if you know what to do, and you know exactly how to go and change your life in real estate, then you can take any tool, you can dig yourself out of any hole, because once you have the tools, you will never be stuck again. You can take those tools, you can take those actions, you can take what you need to do, and you can build a solution out of any hole or situation that you might be in today. And that's the power of clarity. And then we jump onto the last one. And the last one is knowing that you can do it. And this is probably the biggest obstacle for the majority of people. It's that belief that they can do it. Well, other people can. Well, they're smart. I'm not techie. I don't understand the social media thing. The sellers in my area never listen to me because I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm too that. Whatever the case may be. But it all starts with what you believe, not what the other person believes. Now, I'm here to tell you today that you can absolutely do this. You are standing there right now. All you need to do to get to the other side, whether it's a sale a month, 2 sales, 3 sales, starting your own real estate company, whatever it is for you, you can get to the other side. And all you need is a willingness to believe in yourself. What makes you different than anybody else out there? How come the guy next to you can sell 5 properties a month, but you can't? How come the person can write a good commission, but you can't? You are not less than anybody else. If someone else in your circle, in your area, in your office can do it, that is proof that it is possible. And all you need to do is take the steps needed to get the same results. That's it. How cool is that to know that it's not you, it's you believing and then actioning those kind of things that you need to do. We sometimes think that failure and success are opposite, that if I'm failing, then I'm not succeeding. That is so far from the truth. The reality is that failure is part of success because you actually never fail. You either win or you learn. If you tried something and it didn't work, you adapted to the next thing. How do you think the pros became pros? By falling flat so many times that eventually they just shook it off. If you are still difficult for you to get rejection, it's still difficult for you to take a chance, then all that means is you haven't fallen flat on your face enough to learn that falling, what we call as falling, is actually learning, and it's part of getting to where we need to be. Don't let one bad day, whether that bad day is a root seller, whether that bad day is a deal that's collapsed, or that bad day is just life is just too much right now. Don't let that bad day distract you from all the other progress that you've made. Because sometimes we just have to look back and you go, you know what? I'm not where I want to be. But man, I'm so far ahead from where I was that we sometimes take for granted how far we've come. We think progress is this line that just shoots up. The moment you start doing the right things, that the magic happens overnight. But the reality is we progress a little, and then we might need to stop or rest or maybe even regroup, and then we progress a little. So it's more like a gradual climbing of steps. It's not just this rocket flying. And when you see someone rocket flying, you are not seeing the part of their steps. You're not seeing those things that they are doing behind the scenes, because we see the top of the carrot, but we don't see what's underneath, all the time and effort that they put in there as well. And then we get frustrated with ourselves and we say, no, but I'm lazy. I can't do this. I'm not smart enough. But what is the reality? The reality for you procrastinating, it's not because you are lazy. Chances are it's because you're feeling inadequate. You're feeling like, who am I to be a millionaire estate agent? Who am I to have a successful business? Sometimes it is because you just stretched too thin. You are just one person trying to do 100 people's job. Sometimes it is because we want to be a perfectionist and we want everything to be perfect before we move. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to start. Sometimes it's because we don't know where to start. And the majority of the times because we have fear. We have fear of failure. We have fear that we might not achieve our goal. But the reality is that the only thing that you're afraid of is letting go of that story. Because if you try and you fail, you can never go back to the story like, oh, I could do it, but I haven't reapplied myself. That fear of not getting to where you need to be. You can get there, but it's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Start where you stand, with the doubt, with everything, but just start. The fear never, ever really goes away. It just becomes part of it. It just becomes part of it. So if we look at the next one, we're now in this business of real estate. We are trying to figure everything out. And then we get all this information our way. We decided we're not going to procrastinate anymore. We are now going to implement. And then we go to work and we say, I'm going to figure this out. And then what happens? What normally happens to every single person alive, because you are human. We feel a little bit overwhelmed because things aren't working out like it does in our head. Because in my head, when I think it, the places fall in place. In my head, when I tell the seller your price is too high, he goes, okay. And he understands, he can read the market. But in reality, does that happen? Absolutely not. And this is where we stop. And then when we stop and we're frustrated because we feel overwhelmed, then a small problem becomes big anxiety. And the moment we have anxiety, we stop, we freeze, we quit. We need to start remembering that when you are tired, rest. Don't quit. Because every time you quit, you're starting over. Yes, you are going to feel overwhelmed. Yes, you are going to have bad days, but it is not unique. Everybody goes through that. It is part of being human. And then when we have this frustration, it kind of feels like we're going in a circle and it feels like we're not making any progress. But the reality is there is progress, because every loop we're going a little bit up and a little bit up and a little bit up. So just remember where you are right now. Don't measure your life with someone else's ruler. Someone else says you need to do this. The only way is to do it this way. Why don't you do this? You should have done this. That's someone else's ruler. What is your ruler? What is your standard for where you need to be? And everybody's goal is different. It doesn't matter what your goal is. But if you have a goal and you feel it inside of you and you don't do everything in your power to reach for it, then you are slapping life in the face. You have to go for that desire. There's a reason why there's a desire in you. The actual desire, having that desire, means that you already have the ability within you to achieve it. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't have that desire. We need to understand that 4 plus 5 gives us 9, but so does 3 plus 6, and so does 7 plus 2, and so does 8 plus 1. So we don't always have to do it in a specific way. That's other people's rules. But you need to do the things that are needed to get you to that result. Now, we know the basics are there because they're basic. They work for a reason. So go and learn that recipe first before you start tinkling and twinkling it. Make that a habit of part of who you are before you go on to the next step. How far you will go in your real estate career. Yes, some people have natural talent. Majority of us don't. We didn't get born and say we're going to be a real estate agent from the start. We kind of grew into it. Enthusiasm will only get you a little bit further, but you need that. You need enthusiasm. You need to be willing to do more. But what's going to take you the furthest is that consistency. It's that consistency about knowing what I need to do and know that I have to do it every single day, because you don't become great the moment you achieve your 10 sales or your 5 sales or your 1 sales. You become great the moment you decide that I'm going to be consistent in absolutely everything that I do, and I'm going to achieve my goal. I'm going to achieve it because I will not quit. I might fall down, I might get kicked down, but I will get up one more time every single time I fall down. That is what's going to give you the magic formula to be a success in absolutely everything in your life. Now, you might ask the question, but can I still succeed if I'm afraid to fail? What if other people are way ahead of me? What if I failed the last time? What if I tried and I've fallen flat? I'm not just as young as I used to be, or I'm not old enough. I've never done this before. And the answer is yes. You can still succeed in absolutely everything. Feel the fear and you do it anyway. Who cares where other people are? They all started somewhere. They all started at a particular point in time. You are looking at someone that's standing at door number 20 with key number 1, and then you're getting frustrated because why isn't this working for me? But they've gone through the process. You don't have to be where they are. You need to be where you are. All you are responsible for is to be one step further today than what you were yesterday. So you absolutely can still succeed. You are where you are right now, and it doesn't matter where it is. You could be ahead, you could be at the back. It doesn't really matter. But if you have a little bit of self-compassion and you take those small wins one step at a time, and you are consistently doing, and you're patient with yourself and you're patient with the industry, you will be where you need to be. The past is done. The past is lessons. Whatever happened in the past, all we can do is learn from them. And anything we have in the future is a brand new opportunity. But today you are standing in front of an open door. Are you going to take this clarity from real estate? Are you going to get clarity in your real estate career so that you know where you need to go and what to do? Because you have a gift today to give yourself. Give yourself the gift of clarity in real estate industry. Performance of doing your best might look differently each day. Today you're on top. Tomorrow your best is just picking up the phone. The next day your best is hitting out 3 listings. But your best looks different every day. One of my favorite authors is Wallace D. Wattles. And one of my favorite quotes that he says, do all that can be done in a day, that day, and do each act efficiently. Do not try to do tomorrow's work today, but do all that can be done today, today. Stop pushing your todays to tomorrows and the days after that, because all you are doing is you're moving your goals, your dreams, your future only further and further away. But if you can do something today, then do it. Get it done. But if you've done all that can be done today, then tomorrow is another day for you to do the next thing. Progress, growth is not perfect. It's not that straight line like we said before. It is perfectly imperfect. You're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. That is part of the real estate business. The importance of learning, I can't stress how important learning is. How far do you want to go? Because how far do you want to go depends on how much you know. If you just want to go one step ahead, that's fine. Then you only need one step's worth of knowledge. But if you want to go as far as you can, if you want to be example for the people in your life to say, you know what, I'm nothing special. But if I can do it, anybody can. Then you have to learn the things that you need to learn to get to where you need to be. Because the path of learning is not only learning what to do, but for a lot of us, it's learning what not to do. We can't rock up at the office at 11 o'clock and leave at 12. We cannot lead generate. We cannot give feedback to our buyers and sellers. We can't not be an expert in our farming areas. That's all about learning, but also learning what not to do, because success leaves clues. You thought that when you started, you need to know everything, that you need to be absolutely perfect. And when they ask you a question, you have to know it and you have to be able to say it in perfect English without fumbling over your words, because if you don't, you're a failure. But that's absolute nonsense. You just start where you stand. Start with the one thing that you know that you didn't, but you have to start. You're never going to know everything, and that is okay. You just need to know where you are going. You need to know what is my blueprint, and you don't jump from here to Cape Town. You take it kilometer by kilometer by kilometer by kilometer. So we instinctively know this when we plant a tree, when we go onto a trip, when we raise kids. We know it takes time. But then we come into real estate career and we go, oh, this hasn't happened yet, so it's not working. No, there's a seeding and a reaping in everything that we do. So what you learn today, what you learn at any point in time, is what's going to get you where you need to be. But it's not just the learning of the thing. It is the implementation of that thing. Because if you don't implement what you learn, you're wasting your time. You might know a couple of things, and that's great. You're smarter than what you were yesterday, but there's no real action. Because the secret to your future is hidden in your daily routine. It's what you do absolutely every single day that's going to give you that difference. We need to understand that we can't say, well, I'll wait when I'm motivated. That's not how motivation works. You don't get motivated and then you take action. You take action, and then that creates motivation to take more action. And then the loop continues and just goes on and on and on. But it starts with action. It's just starting. And I've said that so many times. So it is going to feel heavy in the beginning. And some of you are absolutely brand spanking new and you go, wow, this is just an information overload. I had a training yesterday and there was an agent that came to me and she was like kind of out of words, like, I don't know where to start. There's just so much. So all you need to do is start at the absolute beginning. Think about it. Think about where you are right now. A lot of things have happened in your life, right? Good things, bad things, terrible things, amazing things. And you have survived 100% of the worst thing that's ever happened to you. You're still standing. You're still standing. You're doing pretty good so far. Now imagine what you could do if you had a plan and you worked that plan and you were doing those action items every single day to get to the results where you need to be. Because the plan is normally step 1, step 2, step 3. But in reality, it's kind of a bit all over the show. But all you need to know is that if you continue doing the right things, the results will come. So sometimes we say, but I'm so far ahead. There's still so many things that I need to do. Look how far this step is. It's still so long before I sell a property. But then just look back and go, wow, how many steps have I achieved up until now? So you need to have intention. You have to have intention in absolutely everything that you do. Because if you have the best of intention, the intention to do the training, the intention to do certain things, but you don't actually implement that, then it means nothing. Action without intention also doesn't work, because how do you know what you are doing? fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. Go and take the tools and build where you need to be, because you might be right now and it hasn't happened for you yet. It doesn't mean that it won't. It doesn't mean that it won't just because it hasn't happened yet. But you have to take the actions to get you to where you need to be. Take those small steps, one step at a time, every single day over a period of time, and the results will come. You will see the big change. In those days where you say that I can't do this, this is too hard, this is not for me, then just remind yourself that, hey, you are already doing this. You are already a real estate agent. Sometimes the hardest part of being an estate agent is getting an FFC, right? Okay, you've already achieved that part. You need to go and look back and to say, okay, I've still got this mountain ahead of me. But man, I've climbed so many of them before. I'm going to smash this one. I might come out the other way a little bit bruised, a little bit broken, but I am getting to the other side. Because when you start today, in time, you are going to have progress. But when you wait until you're ready, when you wait until you're having all the information, when you wait until the interest rate is better, when you wait, all you are prolonging is your goals, your dreams, and your future. Because it starts with I can't. And we all started that way. I can't. And then I go, well, maybe I can. Maybe if the guy next to me can do it, so can I. And then you go, okay, cool, I will. Because in that moment, I decide that I'm going to do those things. That's the moment of being great. That's when you become great. And then you start climbing. And it's hard. It's hard as you go. But guess what? You are doing it. Then it's I am. I am a real estate agent. I am great. I am this. I am that. And then you get to the end result, which is great. I did it. I am here. And that is the secret to clarity. Now, I've done this so many times, and there's always people asking me to say, okay, how do I get to the next step? How do I get to that clarity of understanding and direction and focus? How do I become confident to know what I'm doing is the right thing? How do I know what to know? How do I know what to do? And then how do I know how to do it? Knowing that I can do it. How do I get to that particular place? Is it okay if I take 5 minutes and I explain to you a product that we created for you that's going to take you through all of the steps that will get you the clarity you need? It'll get you the knowing of what you need to know. It will show you what you need to do, and it will show you how to do it. Is it okay with you guys if I take 5 minutes and explain to you this product? So what we have is we created a course called Start, and it's all about getting started in real estate, and it's for success training for aspiring real estate trailblazers. So who is this particular course for? This course, the Start course, is everything you need to get started. This course is for someone that is willing to do what it takes, not just learning what they need to learn, but implementing what they learn. Because if you don't implement what you're going to learn, it's not going to work. This course is for someone that is fed up with where they are, that is sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they want a new change. These are for agents that's been in the industry for a while, but you kind of fell in a slump and you don't know where to start. You don't know how to move to the next step. It's kind of like you lost confidence along the way. You either think what you know isn't relevant or you kind of feel outdated. Then this course is for you. That is what Start is about. Who's this course not for? It's not for someone that's already doing their 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 deals a month. It's not for someone that's going to do the training and not implement it. It's not for someone that hasn't decided that I am going to do this and I'm going to do whatever it takes to be successful in real estate. That is not who the course is for. We need people that are willing to do what it takes. You've got a desire. You can see the image in your head of knowing where you need to go, but there's just something that makes you feel stuck. You don't know how to go to the next step. That is who the course is for. If you have been doing the same thing and you're not interested in learning anything new, or you don't want to go and recap the basics, this course is not for you. So we've put a special offer together for you guys, for those that are willing to start with the fear, start with the pain, start with the uncertainty. So what you're going to get in this course is you're going to get the 12 modules of the START course. And you can see it's from setting yourself up to success, to dominating your farming area, to building your database, to pricing, to buyers, to deal management, feedback, human dynamics, all of it, we've got that in there for you. You will get a manual with every single training that you can go through and read again to make sure that knowledge becomes part of who you are. So you're going to get the 12-week modules. You're going to know what to do. You will be able to know what to do. We're going to take you through that process. You're going to know how to do it. If all this course did was give you the clarity to know what to do and when to do it, what would it be worth? If all this course did was give you the ability to get one sale and make 30,000 Rand, what would this course be worth to you? If all it did was take the frustration away, what would this be worth for you? What if we gave you 12 months access? Because we understand the first time we hear anything, it could be a little bit overwhelming, but to give you enough time to go through the content to make sure that you understand all the content. What if we gave you the interactive farming board and listing file as well, to show you how you can take your listing file and farming board and make it digital, so that you can have an interactive one where the buyers and sellers can see the photos, can see what the property looks like? What if we gave you WhatsApp and you just got one extra deal by using WhatsApp effectively? What if we gave you Google My Business and you, just by putting yourself onto Google My Business, you are now being found in local searches? What if we gave you a course that showed you how to create content and how to become the leading expert in your particular industry? What would this course be worth to you? If you got one sale, would this course be worth 32,000 Rand? Because that's the average commission. If you just had one sale from this course, would it be worth the 32,000 Rand? But we're not going to charge you that. Because of a special offer, this training will be 3,450 Rand. And you will get the 12 modules with all the booklets. You will know what to do, how to do it, when to do it. You'll know how to do the farming board. You'll know how to get more leads from Google My Business, get more leads from WhatsApp, and you'll know how to create content. And you'll have 12 months access. But if you sign up, we'll give you lifetime access. And that lifetime access means you can come back to this course forever and a day, and you will have access to all the new content being added going forward. So you'll never lose out to what is going to happen with this course. So a special offer for you guys. All you need to do is scan the code. It'll take you to a landing page with more information. And if you guys have any questions, please email me at info@reti.co.za. After you've completed all those, you will also get your start certificate saying that you've completed it. So you're going to get the certificate, you're going to get the farming, Google My Business, WhatsApp, content creation, all the modules, plus lifetime access. You're going to get the manuals on everything, and it's all going to be for 3,450. If you have any questions, that's my email address. Or you can just scan that code over there and you will be directed to that particular one.